바람이 불어온 그 밤에 꺼진 했던 조각들이 난
Are you out of your mind, Jisoo? You are telling me all this just a few hours before your wedding. I was just able to learn about this morning, I swear. You know I don't want to marry him, but still, I obey for the sake of my parents. But I didn't know I was pregnant, she said, crying, looking at Yeji hopelessly. Wait, does that mean you are pregnant with Liam's kid, but going to marry Jungkook? She said with wide eyes. Jisoo nodded meekly, ducking her head down. Yuna let out a gasp in shock, covering her mouth with her one hand. Does Liam know about this? She stopped walking and looked at Jisoo with a distressed face. Jisoo shakes her head in denial while wiping the tears which were freely falling out from her eyes. You are the person I'm telling all of this to. I can't trust anyone, but what should I do now? I can't tell my parents, and I also can't run away from this marriage. My parents' image will be tarnished. They forced you into this marriage, but you are still thinking about them, Jisunni, she said with a hint of anger in her voice. They didn't force me to accept this marriage, but they gave the promise to Jeon, and I can't back out now. I can't do that to them. Please understand, guys. Sobbing. Jisoo is going to marry Jeon Jungkook, who is her childhood friend. Their parents decided this marriage when they were kids, like a promise thingy, without their consent. They were neighbors until Jeon moved out. Jisoo forgot about it as the year passed, but when Jungkook came back to Korea 2 years ago, their parents forced Jisoo and Jungkook to date each other, but both of them only able to develop friendship between them. Nonetheless, they decided to spend their lives separately without letting their parents know, with the hope to deny this arrangement in future. But after 2 years, their parents decided to seal the deal, which was promised. Jisoo tried to convince her parents, but all pleas was in vain, so she doesn't have any other choice but to accept it. That's why she broke up with her longtime boyfriend Liam 2 months ago before the wedding, even though she loves him so much, but she didn't know she got pregnant. She missed her periods and had symptoms, but didn't realize it because of the heartbreak and the problems that were happening in her life. Until this morning, she saw the result. She was scared to tell anyone, and she knows she can't marry Jungkook now. It will be unfair if she get married to him. Moreover, if Mr. Jeon found out about this, they will surely kill her parents. But what we can do now, Jisoo? They are waiting for you outside. The only option we have is to tell your parents, she said, taking Jisoo's hand in her to calm her down. I am so scared of their reaction. I don't want to disappoint them, but I can't marry Jungkook with this child, and I don't love him. She cried in Yeji's embrace, who was rubbing her back. Oh God, can you please stop crying for once? Please, I can't think any of solution, she said, massaging her temples in distress. Yuna, be sensitive at least, stern voice. I was against this marriage since the beginning, but she didn't listen to me, and now this happens. Do you have any other plan to stop this marriage? Somehow. If not, let me think, please. Yuna got up from her seat and started pacing around in room. Don't do that. I feel dizzy looking at you, she said to Yuna. If only you told her earlier, we would have thought a solution. But now let's just talk to your parents to cancel this marriage, said looking at Jisoo with sad eyes. Yuna stopped and looked at them with an unreadable expression on her face. We don't have anything to say, but what if Jeon cancel this marriage by themselves? She said with devilish mark on her face. What? How? Both said in unison. Yuna explained her plan. No, this is dangerous, we can't do that, she uttered in shock after listening to her plan. You want your parents getting murdered by Jeons? She threatened. No, She shouted. Do you have any other better plans? If not, then let me handle. Jisoo sighed, looking down. Why we have another client asking for our services. Are you free? She asked you on the line. I can't. I said I'm leaving this work. I can't do this anymore and I'm shifting to Seoul. You told her your intention and that you are not interested in working with them anymore. I know, Ryan, but this seems like a bigger party and they even offered us a huge amount of money than we usually get. Isn't this great? And I'm sure you need more money for your mother treatment in Seoul. So just this one time, I'll pay you the double of you usually get. You sighed on the call, knowing that you still need more money and it's urgent, so you got agreed to this. Only one last time and everything will be fine. Okay, tell me the address. After that, we don't know each other, you said and cut the call right away. You work for a small agency that provide escorts to wealthy people. Nothing physical, but the secret is some don't know that sometimes the girls had to work as the beloved of these rich brats to break the unwanted relationship they got into somehow. You have to act as their girlfriend, more likely to be rented girlfriend. When the work is done, they transfer money to the owner and you get the fair share offered you for the work. But you need more money to transfer your mother to SNUH of Seoul for her cancer treatment because her condition is getting worse and this job isn't paying you that much. You need to move. Standing outside the venue. So you are the person they sent you for this work. She narrowed her eyes, doubting your abilities over this matter. Are you sure you'll be able to execute the plan I told you? She joined in, folding her hands over her chest. More than talking, I believe in action. Whatever you want to happen, consider it's done, you declared. Yuna looked satisfied with your answer, but Yeji still looked conflicted. How are you going to avoid security? She inquired. That's my problem, not yours. We are professional in this task, so don't worry. You gave assurance to Yeji, who was looking at you with doubts. The wedding is going to start in 30 minutes. Be there then, she said, and they walked away. So, anyone in the crowd has any objection to this marriage? If not, then we proceed. The priest asked and waited for 1 minute, while Jisoo prayed to God in her mind. But the doubt that this was going to fail or if the girl just ditched them at the last moment. But we didn't tell her about Jungkook being Mafia. Yeji and Yuna looked for the Vian in anticipation. Where the hell that girl went? Isn't she said don't worry, your work will be done? Was that just a bluff? Yeji whispered to Yuna. Did she freak out at the crucial moment, seeing how the lavish wedding is? Yuna whispered back to Yeji. I told you your plan will fail, Yeji said, glancing at Jisoo, who looked nervous, standing there at the stage in front of Jungkook, who looks equally nervous for some reasons. Okay, if no one had. He was about to continue when a girl shouted. No, stop this, I still love you, baby. Everyone looked at the direction of the girl, in shock, especially Jungkook, who looked confused. I have an objection. Stop this wedding right now. You said, looking calm, but inside feeling scared, seeing everything. Even though you had dealt situation like this, but looking at the people in front of them and how powerful look they gives you, an uneasy feeling. I didn't know it was going to be this grand, especially since the company didn't told me about the media being here. Yuna and Yeji breathed out in a relief seeing you, but the groom didn't look pleased at all, as he looked in your direction with a raised brow. And who are you? He asked, narrowing his eyes in confusion. God, You have met so many people and clients, but never encountered someone this handsome. This man is the epitome of being an angel in the human body, with those doe like eyes. Are you falling for him? Why no? Don't you dare. You are on work. Just be in the character, or else everything will be ruined. How can you marry someone else after promising me to cherish our love forever? You said, fake crying in front of everyone, trying to remember the name Yeji told you, Jungkook. Everyone in the hall gasped at what they heard, especially Jungkook's parents, who were looking at him for an explanation. What's this, Jungkook? You didn't tell us about you have a relationship with someone, he said in angry tone. Jungkook came out of the stage in your direction with firming steps. What the hell are you saying? Do you even know who I am? Your body shuddered at his intense, piercing gaze on you. He is mad and you know that, so you didn't try to provoke him further, feeling scared. He took a step closer to show his dominance, but Mr. John stopped him. Jungkook, he shouted. That I don't even know who she is. He looked at his father. What nonsense you sputtering here? He shouted and you actually flinched, but hide it well. I can't believe you will cheat on me like this, Jungkook. Do you also forget we have been in a relationship for 1 year? Will you deny that too? You spoke crying out loud, so everyone believes you, but inside sweating bullets. What's all this happening, Mr. Jeon? We never expected you will betray us like that over the years of friendship, he said, feeling bad for his daughter, not knowing it was quite the opposite case. That's nonsense. He can't be able to complete the whole sentence when a loud thud could be heard in the hall, and everyone gasped loudly. Mom, Jungkook shouted and ran to his parents' direction. Mr. Jeon was trying to handle his wife, who fainted because of shock. Jungkook tried to shake his mother's body, and the crowd gathered around the fainted woman. In the meantime, Yeji and Yuna eyed you, motioning to leave, and you left from there quietly before anyone noticed you, feeling guilty over the commotion, and that's why you wanted to quit this work, but you need money. I'm alright, just feeling a little dizzy. Jungkook looked in your direction, but you had already escaped from there with the help of Yuna and Yeji. Where did she went? Everyone, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience, but we won't able to continue the wedding. Please have something before leaving. I guess thank you. Mr. Jeon said to guest and look at Jungkook. I need to talk to you, he ordered to Jungkook. How many times, Jungkook? And how many girls you have relationship with? I'm tired now. Care to explain me? Who is she? He asked with a stern voice. You never told us you have a girlfriend. Neither did I know until now, Jungkook muttered under his breath. Cat got your tongue. Tell me who is she? Because of you, now we have to call off the wedding, shouted. Yobo, please calm down. She tried to stop Mr. Jeon. Jungkook never wanted to get into this marriage in first place, as this was only deal to grow their business in Mafia world by turning years of friendship into more valuable relationship. But both Jisoo and he was only forced by their parents and didn't have any feelings for each other, only treating each other like childhood best friends. Dad, don't you trust your son? He asked. No, not at all. After knowing how many girls you had before, and I have to save you from your one night scandal, he said, crossing his arms over his chest, not believing at all. But this time, girl claimed to be your girlfriend over 1 year, even knowing your marriage fixed with Jisoo. How dare to do this us? I didn't. Previously, they were all just feelings. I was not in a serious relationship with them. And this girl, I don't even know her. Never saw her face before. Trust me, I'm saying truth this time, he exclaimed. Trust. He chuckled mockingly. Do you even know how much it cost us to cancel this marriage and disrepute? That's enough, she said, stopping the fight between father and son. Jungkook, I want you to bring that girl to the house. What? But why? Shocked. Your mother is right. Media already captured everything. So don't you dare to show your face until you brought up that girl in front of me. Did you get that? Jungkook clenched his jaw in anger and stormed out of the place with firming steps without looking back. What are you doing here, Jisoo? He asked, seeing her standing outside the room with a guilty face. I want to talk to you, please. She brought Jungkook to her room, where Yoona and Yeji were standing looking equally ashamed of the act they did after seeing Mrs. Jeon's condition. Why, seeing your guy's face, it seems all done by you, he said, raising his brow at them. Jisoo chuckled nervously. Jungkook, actually. She told everything to Jungkook, that how they planned to break this marriage with the help of Yuna's idea. At first, Jungkook was very angry and throwing the daggers at Yuna and Yeji, who avoided looking at him. But after Jisoo told her about her pregnancy, he calmed down a bit. I'm sorry, I never wanted to do that, but you know I can't marry to you, she said, crying. I should ask your forgiveness too, that my family forced you to marry me and you have to broke up with your boyfriend. I'm sorry. But now I'm in big trouble because of your friend's so-called great idea, he said, glaring at Yuna, who cleared her throat in embarrassment. I'm sorry, but that's what I able to thought, she apologized. I'll accept your apology only if you tell me who is the girl you guys brought to the wedding earlier. Why you look so interested in her? Jungkook looked at her with deadpan face. Because of you and your terrible plan, I can't enter into my house, he tried explained with a stoic face. Oh, I'm sorry, Jungkook. Did uncle kick you out of the house? She put her hand on her mouth after realizing what she said. Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Just tell me the girl's name. Is she your friend? I want to know about her. We don't know her name because she's not our friend. We only had her ID and Yuna hired her for this work. What the? So you don't know the name? They shook their head and he sighed. Anyway, you guys had the number of her or anything to address her? Yuna gave him the number, but it was showing that it's not in working condition anymore. It's not working. Do you have any another number? I have her agency number. You can contact them. She gave him the card. Jungkook was sitting in an office chair spinning it and ringing was going on. Calling from the agency, how may I can help you, sir? The girl said from the other side. Well, hello, miss. I wanted to ask you about an employee of yours. Her ID is. He tells the ID to the girl. I want to avail your services and want to hire her. Sorry, sir, but she doesn't work with us anymore. There are other. No, I only want her. If you can't provide, then tell me the address of her. I'll talk to her on my own. The girl on the other side sounded nervous when he asked about the address. Sorry, sir, we don't disclose the address of our employees. It's out of our safety policy. Safety. He chuckled. So your rubbish agency has rules and regulation, huh? He tilted his head at the side. Is the one who manages right? He heard a loud gasp and smirk formed on his lips. If you don't want me to expose you, so better tell me the girl's name or address. He threatened the girl. She agreed, so he smiled in prompt. Sir, actually, that girl has left the job recently. I can only provide you her name and her previous address where she doesn't live anymore, she said, stuttering because of his intimidating voice. Tell me the name. He was getting frustrated. Kim Wyan, sir. He cut the call right away and getting what he wanted without any delay. Kim Wyan, huh? A devilish smirk formed on his lips. Martin, he shouted, calling his secretary. Martin rushed in inside soon. What's boss? He asked. I want each and every detail about this girl. Also find where is she now. You have 30 minutes. Martin nodded and left. Sir, she is actually here in Seoul right now, he said, handing over a file to Jungkook containing information about Ryan. Jungkook looked at the details closely with a smug face. Your mother's condition is really serious. We have to operate her soon. Otherwise, the cancer will spread in other parts of her body, he said calmly, looking into her distressed eyes. Please deposit the remaining money as soon as possible so we can start the surgery. Can you please start the surgery? I'll deposit the remaining money as soon as I can, but please save my mother, uncle, you requested him, crying. That is not how it works. You need to deposit the money, Ryan, so we can start our procedures. I'll promise I'll do, but you can start the process. Please try to understand. You pleaded, and he sighed. Dr. Han is your father's close friend who works in SNUH, and he is still in contact with you after your father's death. 2 years ago, he is the one who recommended you to brought your mother to Seoul so he can operate on her without any fees. Look, Ryan, your father was my best friend, and I know you since you were little. You are like a daughter to me, so I'll try to help you as far as I can. For now, I'll talk to them to start the procedure, but please try to deposit the money. I gave you the time. Thank you so much, uncle, for helping me. I'll deposit the money as soon as I can. As I reached my destination, I took a deep breath with the application in my hand. I was so nervous because this was the first time I applied for a company job, and it's a very reputed company in South Korea. My heart was beating so fast and my palms were sweaty, but I gathered the courage for myself and entered in the building the man told me on the phone earlier. I was looking around searching for the man who shortlisted me for the interview in this company and told me to stay in the lobby as he's coming down. So I sat beside a lady waiting for him. Miss Ryan? I looked up to the man who called my name. He doesn't look like he's from Korea. Yes, it's me, I replied. He smiled, reaching out his hand for me to shake, so I did the same. Hi, I'm Mr. Watson. I called you earlier for the interview. I nodded and smiled in return. I hope I'm on time. Yes, you are on time. Follow me, the boss is waiting for you in his office. We reached the top floor, and I was just following Mr. Watson, who was guiding me through the passage. And finally, a big gate came into the view. The boss is inside. I thanked to Martin as he left me alone. I took a deep breath before knocking on the CEO's room. Come in. I twisted to open the gate. The CEO was facing back towards me. Good morning, sir. It's Kim Wyan. I greeted him. Hi, Miss Kim Wyan, he said with his deep, husky voice, which sounds familiar to me, and my eyes went wide when he spun his chair facing me. So finally, I met you. He was none other than the person I was having dream about since I left Busan. Jungkook.